I guess, Michael, what did you take away from the Sydney FC game first up, heading into your first home game of the year?
Look, a lot of positives. I think overall it was a very good performance. Obviously, we didn't get the 3 points, which is always disappointing, but a lot of learnings came from it as well, which I was really happy with. A lot of questions. We weren't quite expecting the shape that Sydney FC threw at us, so that was different to what they've done in the past. So that gave us an opportunity to try and fix, and if a team does that again, we're going to be more prepared. So I think that was a real positive, that we got some good learnings from it.
Mariners first up. Obviously, they ended your season last year in a pretty contentious way. What do how do you draw on those things? Do you put it all behind you? Every team has a different approach in the head of facing them this time around.
Yeah, I'm never one to think about what's happened in the past. First and foremost, it's a new season. We have some new players. They have a lot of new players. They have a new coach as well. From what I saw against Adelaide, and from what I've heard in a couple of their pre-season matches, it's a slightly different shape as well, how they're trying to do things. So, yeah, I think they played really well against Adelaide, especially very dangerous on the counter-attack. So we're assuming that they're going to try and do that against us as well. So, yeah, we'll be prepared for that. And we work a lot as a team that likes to have the ball and dominate the ball like we normally do. We have to be ready for transitions. So that's definitely something that we've been working on all last season, and obviously this pre-season has been a big factor. And we didn't allow Sydney FC to transition on us much, only a couple of times. So if we can eliminate Central Coast's strength, which I think their transition is, then we'll go a long way to winning the game.
In terms of health and fitness, Michael, how are the girls feeling after a very long off season and then straight into it with round one?
Yeah, they're feeling good. We've worked them really hard. A lot of them have their own individual programs. So yes, it's a long off season, but I think it's a good time for the players to work on themselves as well, especially individual stuff in the gym, or to try and get stronger and faster, and do some individual technical stuff. So all the players have had their own sort of programs. We've had 2 months together, so just over 8 weeks, as a good block for getting them fit. And we worked them hard again this week. So physically, we're in a really good space. So, yeah, looking forward to the game.
You've got Carly and Briley as the outs still coming back from their injuries. Just what sort of time frame are you looking for both of them?
Carly's just joining in team training, so I would say probably she may play a match towards the back end of next week when we're in the Champions League. We have the 3 games in Vietnam, so she may be ready for one of those matches. Briley's probably still a couple of weeks after that. So hopefully by the time we get back and we play our game, I think it's the 6th or 7th of December against Wellington, hopefully both of them are ready to play by then.
So Carly might go with you to Southeast Asia, but you'll leave Briley at home?
No, everyone's going to travel.
Oh.
Yeah, full 23 players will travel to Vietnam.
What have you learnt from last year with the Champos that you can take into this year? It feels like last year it was one of the things that really did get you ahead of the pack, Michael.
Yeah, look, I think one of the biggest things was we only had 3.5 weeks to prepare for the Champions League group stage last year. But I think the positive, especially being a new coach, and we did have some new players, just that 11 days being away, I think helped the bonding of the group, helped me understand, gave me more time to spend with the players for individual analysis stuff, trying to get our ideas across, especially the new things that I was trying to add on top of whatever the team was already doing really well under Dario the season before. So I think this season has been quite different. Obviously, we have 2 league games before we travel. But in saying that, we then had a longer pre-season. So we had a good 7-week block to continue to add on to the ideas that we were already doing really well last season and integrate the new players. So I think this has come at a really good time. Our main focus is to obviously win this weekend and then we can enjoy our travel and the experience of playing in Asia, which is a great honour.
Big picture wise, what sort of fire in the belly have you noticed with these players? Obviously, just falling short in Asia. Obviously, you won the plate, but just falling short in terms of finals last year. It's a pretty proud group, and they're full of winners. Have you noticed any additional sort of steel to them or anything this year?
No, not really. I don't think they can be any more competitive. I think from the conversations in our exit meetings last season, the players were very, very eager to go better. Obviously, our goal in the beginning of the season last year was to win 3 trophies. We have that opportunity again this year. That's our goal. But I think I mentioned to you guys last season, yes, that's a goal. And again, one of my PowerPoint presentations again was to put that up, and the team goals, they have that, but we don't talk about it. We just talk about what we need to do to improve every single day. And that's our main focus. Our focus is week to week, training to training. And this week's been excellent, to be honest. And what I love about this group is, yes, they are winners, and it's so competitive in training. Everyone's fighting for their spots. But majority of them are asking so many questions, especially in a tactical way, and they want to improve. They want to get better as a collective and individually. So, and through player questions becomes clarity. And a lot of it, even for me, there was a big major point that I was like, well, maybe I actually need to teach that better because it needs to be clearer. And if one player is asking it, maybe a number of players need to be reinforced that message as well. So I think it works both ways. As a coach, I don't know everything. And sometimes you assume the players know, but when they ask the questions, sometimes that gives me the clarity as well to try and give that information and show more clips and work on it a little bit more so we are better as a collective. So we've had a really good week in clarifying a few ideas that we're trying to do. So yeah, looking forward to implementing it tomorrow.
How encouraging is it that you're already sharing the goals around? I mean, last season, once Holly came back, there was such a focus, and it's easy for teams to sort of lock in or in that way. But yeah, you had Keane score, you had Shelby score. Like, I know Holly had the assist, but it still must be quite encouraging, that sort of multifaceted attack you're seeing again.
Yeah, I think obviously Holly scored 15 goals last season, and probably played, in terms of minutes, probably a third of what our top players that were playing last season in terms of minutes. But I think we had players like Speckmeyer, Lourdes Bosch, even Mini were all chipping in with goals. So we lost those 3 players. So the new players that we're bringing in, we're hoping they can fill those shoes and get around those 6 to 10 goals each, like those other girls did. But one of the biggest positives for me is that we worked a lot last season on breaking down deep blocks and especially some combinations to create better chances. We took all season to score what I felt our best goal of the year was in round 23 against Perth Glory, our best team goal in combinations, and we scored a very similar goal in round 1. So in terms of how we're playing and our movements, I think we're ahead of where we were last season. So that's very exciting for me.
Because I was going to ask, Michael, because you look at that game, obviously you would have wanted the result to be, 3 points, but you created a lot, you had the combinations going, you even came from behind twice, which you did so many times last season. Do you feel like has been that continuity with the group? You haven't lost that much, if anything, that you have to rebuild this season? Exactly
right. I think we've gained. I think the squad depth is a little bit stronger. Okay, we have some injuries at the moment to some key players, but I think our squad depth is a little bit stronger. And I think the players that we've been able to retain are, 10-20% better than what I feel they were last year, especially in game understanding. So I'm really excited where we're at and how we're going to continue to progress. But we take it one game at a time. We did drop points, which we're not happy with. But if you were to say to me that tomorrow would have 72% possession and a lot more big chances than the opposition, then, that's what you're looking to achieve in most matches. The way we want to play is dominate the ball, create double, if not more chances, big chances than the opposition, and more times than not, we're probably going to win those matches. So as much as it was frustrating, it was exciting because I think there were some really good signs of where we're heading.
And obviously, a lot of the discussions coming out of that game, talking about Willa Pearson playing in the A-League Women at 14, maybe not so much looking at Willa, but just on a broader level, just in general. What's your opinion on 14-year-olds playing professional football? Is there a point where too young is too young, or should it be based on individual cases?
I think it's individual. I think we're in a performance, results-driven industry. I think if Ante didn't think that she was ready to play, he wouldn't have played her. So, before my time, it was like Shelby played as a 15-year-old. And she obviously had some injuries last season, which sort of didn't allow her to be probably a regular that maybe she could have been. But she's another player. So I think it's case by case. So yes, she was young, and we were quite surprised that she was starting when we got to the ground an hour and a half and saw the team line up. But I think she did really well. So for me, I always say it, we have 15, 16-year-olds in our squad, and then we have Melissa Barbieri, which, is on the totally different age bracket. Best players play. So that's my motto. If you're good enough, you play. So it doesn't matter how old you are.